Hello, welcome to the Midgar Press. My name is Jay. So, as I mentioned in the last video, we're going to go through the Bestiary and kind of go a little bit more in depth. We're going to break them down a little bit more, break them in pieces, because I want you, the GM, to have a better understanding, to be able to play your monsters better. I want you all to be able to just be able to pick one up, throw one on the field fluently. So let's start with the ghost. Now, these are not going to be in any specific order, okay? These are not going to be in any specific order, but we've got the ghost. I picked the ghost first because it's fun and it's easy to throw into pretty much any setting. The reason I say that is because, well, first off, the ghost, as it says, the ghosts are restless spirits of those unable to find peace in death. That means that they are attached to a spot. They are attached to a building, to a tomb, to a crypt. Somewhere in there, they're trapped. It does say that, it may be a matter of revenge or a debt that must be paid. Other times, the ghost remains must be collected and given a proper burial. But if you can solve their specific problem, if you can solve their needs, they can find eternal peace and leave the living alone. I mean, you could put that in any adventure. Any adventure. One of the things I've actually started doing as I have ran multiple sessions of Dragonbane, it's that within the multiple sessions that I've ran, I've had player characters die, either through combat or non-combat. There has been situations where they die. And depending on how they die, I've actually introduced them as a homebrew item to the actual adventure. For example, Rittermound. My book's over there. With Rittermound, the very first adventure, the adventure that's introduced in the quick start, I've run that numerous times. It's basically I've run Dragonbane, I don't know, at this point, 16 sessions. And half of those, for the most part, have been Rittermound because I'm introducing it to newer players. And one of the things I did was that there was a character that my friend Ashley was playing. Her name is Andromeda. She's an elven hunter. Now, here's the problem. A lot had happened to Andromeda. In fact, you'll hear about that in one of the Let's Plays that I'll do, because I'm going to recap all the sessions that I've held. Now, that being said, long story short, she had she went up against a ghost. She died. I can't say died. She became incapacitated. They rallied her. She had a severe injury. She fell down again, and she was being carried up a rope ladder. Now, unfortunately, the player that was had her over her back and everything like that was bringing her up the ladder, failed their acrobatics roll, and they fell down. Now, she had 0 HP. 0 HP. So when she hit the ground, because it was I don't know, it was 5 meters she fell, and anything over 2, you get the fall damage. So she fell 3, so it'd be 3d6. Plus, there was a heavy dwarf on top of her that fell. So, or no, it was a mallard. I'm sorry, it was a mallard knight that was carrying her. So between the 3d6 fall damage and being fallen upon by a mallard knight in heavy chainmail, she was toast. She was dead. So what I've done is I have instructed, or not instructed, but I have introduced her as a NPC within the antechamber, where her ghost will continue to live on. Now, anytime I run Rittermount from now on, from here on out, I will roll a D100, and odds or evens, she'll be there, and then odds or evens, she won't be there. So I will use her in the capacity to kind of give the players like a heads up as to what they may be getting into, or if they decide to not listen to her or in some way make her mad, well, she could potentially attack them as a ghost. In any adventure that you create with the Dragonbane setting and whatnot, I'm actually working on one right now called Gold Mounts on Kickstarter. That being said, I'm toying with the idea of putting a ghost there, because ghosts are just fantastic. I mean, they are the easiest little monster you could put in there, because they're persuadable. You can talk to them. They have the immunity where you can't hit them unless you're dealing some type of magical damage, whether it be magic itself or a magic item. Like they can't be hurt by material weapons. So if somebody tries to walk up with an axe and just, it's not going to work. Or a sword, it's not going to work. Ghosts are just fantastic. They're just truly fantastic. I do want to go over like the rest of the attack table, because when I was going through the Bestiary the first time, we only covered the first three. So I'm going to cover the last three right now. So, of the D6, number 4, Death Stare. The ghost towers over a player character, staring directly into their soul with its dead eyes. The victim sees their life pass before their eyes and is tormented by grotesque visions of all their dead friends and foes. The victim becomes scared, suffers a fear attack, and gets a Bane on their will roll. 5 of the D6, Ghostly Embrace. This is actually the one that incapacitated the Andromeda, the female elven hunter. Ghostly Embrace. The ghost emits an unnatural wheeze and suddenly appears right in front of the adventurer within 10 meters, wrapping them in a deadly embrace to smother the spark of their life. The attack inflicts 3d6 bludgeoning damage and leaves the victim dazed. So it basically pulled her up, gave her the embrace, and it killed her. Or, put her unconscious. 6, Cold Strike. The ghost grabs a victim and lets the icy chill of death stream into their body. The player character suffers 2d8 damage and cannot heal HP or WP, so hit points and willpower, until they spend one shift in a warm location. Armor has no effect. That's terrifying. When player characters cannot heal anything, they freak out. Trust me, they freak out. But this is like I said, more of a deep dive with the ghost and what you could do with a ghost. I mean, like I said, ghosts you could put anywhere, just literally anywhere. They can be outside of a tomb. They could be in the middle of a forest. They could be some remains in a dungeon. They could be, if you have player characters exploring some kind of like jail cell or something like that, they could be the remains of a dead jailer. It's just like literally anything. And then, of course, the player characters have to figure out how to communicate and then how to solve what's wrong. And maybe some of your player characters will want to help them move on to the afterlife so they're no longer there. Or maybe the player characters will just ignore it. Who knows? We'll see. But thank you for tuning in. Like this video, comment, leave a comment. How would you introduce a ghost into a story, or what is a potential that you might do with a ghost? As always, share this video. The more you share, the more people see. The more people see, the more I can go on about my love for Dragonbane and TTRPGs in general. As always, well, we're going to change it up today. I want you all to live long and prosper. May the 4th be with you.